I think I'll walk by me and say good morning, and I don't know if I say good morning.
I think they just stopped in front of your office and stuff and tongue at you, but.
Oh, that one works.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounded like it.
That's what I meant.
What is it? Sorry.
Okay, Barren County Fiscal Court, call this meeting to order. Need to April 29th, 25 at 9 a.m. Barren County Government Center. Please call roll.
Jeff Botts,
Here.
Dave Fittigo,
Here.
Tim Young,
Here.
Tim Coomer. Here,
Was on there a while ago.
Tim Coomer,
Here.
Marty Kinslow,
Here.
Donnie Stinson,
Here.
Todd Gross,
Here.
Judge Barrett.
Here, sorry. Yes.
Here. Here.
Jeff's here. We got Jeff. Okay, we need to approve the minutes of the April 15, 2025 meeting. I need a motion and a second.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Kinslow,
Second.
second by Gross. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Okay. Was that Kramer, you didn't approve the minutes, or are you paying
I
attention?
think he said,
Okay, gotcha, okay. Just making
Yes.
sure.
Yes. Aye.
You approve the minutes, okay. Okay. Motion carries. It's hard for Zoom. Need to approve the payment of claims as presented. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
That was Stinson, was that Stinson made the motion? Stinson, second by Durham. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the addendum for the mowing contract. Need a motion and a second. I'll explain.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Kinslow,
Second.
second by Gross. This is basically where we voted in the last, it was in the March meeting, I think, for the mowing for the Cave City interchange. This is making an addendum to the current mowing contract so that we don't have to create a new one with them to add that location to their current responsibilities for the mowing. Right now, they have the outer loop, they have the interchange at 31 and Calvin Parkway, and we are adding the Cave City. The amounts approved by the fiscal court are $10,000 Barren County Fiscal Court, $10,000 from Cave City Council, $3,500 a private donor investor in the community of Cave City, and $3,500 a nonprofit called Beautify Barren County. So it is a combined effort on that project. This is just adding an addendum to the current contract because I did not want to create a new contract because the current contract expires in 2 years. If we created a new one, it would be a 3-year term. So any discussion?
Motion.
Okay, we already got the motion. Okay, we've already got the motion in a second, but thank you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
You got it? All opposed?
No.
No.
Okay. Motion carries. Who are the twos? If you got it, did you get the two? Bots, was that you? The no?
No.
Comer and Pettigo.
It was Coomer and Pettigo. I think so, yeah. I'm just making sure she's got it. Okay, motion carries. Adopt the first reading of ordinance 694 relating to the annual budget for fiscal year 2025, 2026. This is the budget. Okay, this is our first reading. After this happens, we then send it on to Frankfurt for their review, and then it comes back. We will advertise the budget, and we do the second reading for the budget. It has to be done by the end of June for the next fiscal year. So do a motion and a second before we can discuss.
Motion.
Motion by Kinslow, second by, was that you, Bots? Or was that Stinson?
It was me, Stinson.
Okay, Stinson got the second on that. Okay, to talk about this budget. So Marty Kinslow, the chair of our budget committee, has been in our meetings with all the directors. I feel like this budget is a very, we've taken this budget, we've actually reduced some cost on some things this year, not a lot. Of course, everything's increasing. I just want to make sure some notions of stuff that I wanted to just make a note. You know, we have invested in our people in the last since we've been in this office for the last 2.5 years. We've had increases in our sheriff's department and supporting those individuals of $515,000 in the last 2 years. A lot of that has been in the salaries of the deputies line item, and that's because we want to make sure we keep those individuals and we can continue to recruit. The other increases, of course, have been in the roads. In the last 3 years, we've increased our road fund and spending in our roads by $765,000. And of course, I know we've invested in our parks, a lot of things, but in addition, we've increased from the around $200,000, which is a bond that we are now paying for the big project. And I went out there last night and it is beautiful. And everybody was just so thankful for what we've done there. So, a lot of people kind of always ask about where we're at spending. This year, we have decreased some of our departments, not a lot, just trying to kind of stay within and below budget. So that's where we're at. So, anything else?
I just would like to add to that we have done all this while we have lowered the property rates. And we have been able to balance the budget, which I believe we've done a great job of managing the money. I just want to let everybody know that.
That is true. We have decreased the property rate at almost 2%, basically, for the career property tax. So, I agree with that. Yes.
Now, I think it will sound slow. Starting at 10:30, and trust me, you don't want it to go away with a making profit on the first full day of your vacation. Also, after that, at 11:30, come join me in the Limelight Lounge level for the middle of the shift for military appreciation gathering. Now, this is
Okay, thank you all, whoever that was. Anything else on the annual budget? First reading, all right, I'm excited we're getting this done before the end of April. I think that's a big deal. You could submit it on May 1st. All right, so let's do a roll call vote on that just because.
Jeff Watts,
Yes.
Dave Pettigrew,
Yes.
Tim Down,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes,
Ronnie Stinson,
Yes.
Fred Gross.
Yes.
Okay, thank you all. Motion carries. Okay, we need to approve the county third quarterly report. Need a motion and a second.
I like the motion.
Motion by Kinslow,
Second.
second by Durham. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the annual standing order to pre-approve recurring expenses for fiscal year 2025, 2026. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Watts,
Second.
second by Rose. This is our just standing order for these people to be able to pay our utility bills, any of the reoccurring expenses, bonds, etc. So. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
I'll call you back in just a few minutes. I'm in a meeting.
Need to approve the first reading of ordinance 695 relating to solar energy systems.
I'll see if I can.
Need a motion and a second.
I'll call you back in just a few minutes.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Kinslow,
Second.
second by Gross. Okay, this is the ordinance relating to the solar that we've been talking about a lot here in the last 2 months. This was a result of what I've found from going to the meetings and talking to other counties. I will tell the public, we have done some very due diligence on this with the magistrates. We've met with each of them to hear their concerns and try to address those in this ordinance. We started with a similar ordinance to what other counties have put into place. And then we kind of tried to make it a little bit more geared towards Barren County and to what these magistrates want for their community. And the current reading stands at 1,000-foot setback. That's where we're at. So magistrates, your turn. Do you have anything to say? You're all good? Okay. I guess we'll go ahead. You want to discuss?
Does
This is
anybody
open
wanna-
vote,
Anybody want to discuss?
magistrate wise.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, this week, we're not doing public right now, sorry. Go ahead. Yes, I can hear you, Jeff.
Hey, only thing I brought up, or Tim Coomer brought up when we met, had a good, I thought, good proposal that we could think about. If we do that 1,000, if there's a neighboring, farm that possibly was interested in doing it, could that actually be brought in tighter as a variance? That's just something he brought up. I thought it was a good idea. I don't know if he wants to say any more on that, or any of the other court members think that could be possibly an idea. That way, if neighborings did like the idea, that they could get a little bit more land in this project if they come. That's just wanted to bring that up. I thought it was a great idea that Tim Coomer came up with that, if we even want to consider that.
So it wouldn't, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
It wasn't exactly like that. If my suggestion was, even though it's a non-participating neighbor, if they wanted to make the variance shorter, they could allow that if they would agree to a contract, which I know that it would have to go with the land if that person. So if they wanted to put in solar, there wouldn't have to be a variance anyway. But if they were non-participants and they wanted to allow a closer variance, they could allow it through a contract and say, listen, you can come over closer to me, but that contract would have to stay with that farm. So if they ever sold that farm, that they couldn't go back and say, well, I don't want it within 1,000 feet of me now. They'd have to sign a contract saying it would stay as long as the solar. And that just may allow some people to widen, to narrow their variance if the neighboring people wanted to do it. But that's something we could always add, I guess. Mike, I don't know.
Sorry, Tim, I didn't mean to misspeak on you, but I did think that
Yeah.
was a good idea. And at bottom line, I would be for the 1,000-foot if we could get a clause in putting that in now. Just being honest about it. Just my concern. I just hate to keep. There are some farmers that possibly want this, and of course we had the meeting, and everyone at the town hall didn't want someone telling them what to do. It was kind of misleading to me. You didn't want anybody telling them what to do, and then we're getting phone calls of people telling us to tell people what to do. So that clause would help solve that a little bit. I thought your suggestion. Anyone else want to comment on that?
I believe that might be a good idea to do that, as long as the neighbor agrees with it, why not?
So you guys got a couple of options of how you want to proceed on that. So the way the statute's written, when it comes to amending ordinance, you can have a first reading, and all ordinances or all proposed amendments have to be in writing. You can do this. You can either vote no on the current ordinance and go back, I can go back and add those things, or you can vote to have the first reading to pass it. And whoever wants to, you can get with me if you want me to write up an amendment, because it has to be in writing, and it can be voted on at the next fiscal court meeting before the second reading. As long as, you vote on the amendment and you know what's going in it, you can go ahead and have that second reading at that point, and that would be what the law would be. Or, and like I said, you could put that amendment up and everybody vote it down, and then you proceed on with the ordinance as it's written. So you got a couple of ways, however you want to deal with it.
So what you're saying today is we could, if this is voted today, and between now and the second reading, put together an amendment added to that. Just turn on your mute. Make sure, please turn on your mute button. Mute. I don't know who's got non-mute on, but thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Right, so it's supposed to be in writing, so I mean, that would give me time to whoever wants me to, and it could be anybody, if anybody has any amendments they want made. You can vote yes on this first reading, get with me and we can propose the amendments. The only complication would be if like, and I don't expect this to happen, but if there's like 7 or 8 amendments and I feel like there would be confusion over what's being voted on, we'd have to delay the second reading and vote on the amendments first and I can rewrite it. But if it's like 1 or 2, it shouldn't even be a problem. So yes, either you can put it in writing, vote yes today, put the amendment in writing, vote on that before the second reading at the next meeting when you want to do it, or just vote no on this and I go back, add that, and then vote on it again.
Well, anyhow, I would like to jump in. The original number that we talked about was a lot higher than the 1,000. And there were a wide range of views in our group on that. And what we came up with was like a average number, a compromise numbers. Some wanted more, others wanted less. And I just want to explain to everybody how we arrived at that number and then give you my overview. And then what I'm getting ready to say now is just my opinion. Basically, what this is all over is we got one group that doesn't like the looks of what the county is going to be. And their viewpoint is in opposition to the landowners who, by the very definition of the word landowner, they own the land. They do with it what they want to do. And then you've got, and then another layer under this, you've got the view of nobody really wants the land to disappear. And then the other side of that, you got to balance that with energy needs in the future. But what I'm getting at, you've got all these opposing viewpoints. And what we are being asked to do is to balance that, to make a compromise. That's the key word. And the reason that we need to look at the energy produced, you need to look at the future. I did a little research yesterday. 1970, the population in Barren was 28,000. Today is 46,000. The county that I grew up in already doesn't look like what it looks like today, just on account of that. Now, and that's what I'm getting at about solar. Yeah, it's gonna make things look different. Different is not always bad. That's what I call progress. Now, I might not like progress. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, everybody like going home tonight, turning your air conditioner on, your TV, your cell phone, or would you like all that to go away?
This
we
will
need
not
to-
affect that. I'm sorry,
You can't.
it's
no,
not
This
gonna
is
affect
not
it.
public comment time though.
And I'm not done yet either.
I'm sorry.
All right. And that's it in a nutshell. We are going to have to compromise. When I went to college, I had to read a book that was about the Continental Congress. If you're not a history buff like I am, that was during the Revolutionary War. You had North against the South. You had industrial states versus agriculture states. And most of those people had immigrated here from all over the world. And each state or colony then had their own viewpoints applied that were often in opposition to their neighbors. But they knew that they had to get along and compromise to make it work. And that's all we gotta do here. I want you as Americans to look at it in that view, that you gotta look at your neighbor. And even though you don't agree with them, you gotta live with them. You gotta get along with them. And you don't get to tell your neighbor what to do except within the law. But anyway, I know it's long-winded, but I'm just asking you, be a patriot and get along with your neighbor and compromise. I'm not going to side with one group over the other. If I can find the middle of the road, I'm gonna look at that.
Magistrate wise, any other magistrates have anything?
Hey, Judge?
Yep.
I just want to verify something on what Squire Coomer says.
Mhm.
Okay, basically, 1,000-foot setback. But if say a neighbor behind your farm wants or non-participating is okay with it, then they go into a contract with that landowner. With 1,000-foot setback, we're not telling the farmer they can't do it. It's just the setback needs to be more than 10 feet. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just regardless. But I wanted to make sure I understood what Squire Coomer was saying. So what you saying, Squire Coomer?
Yes, the setback, like I said, there's no solar going to be put on a neighboring farm, just the setback if he'll allow it up to his property. And then, but like I said, it had to be put a contract wherever, if that non-participant sells his farm, that contract would have to stay with the solar company or with his neighbor, and saying that, he can't change that. He's already allowed it and it'll stay as long as the contract for the solar farm stays. You understand? Does that sound?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. You're basically saying
Yeah.
the neighbor can allow it. No setback if you want what you're saying.
Right. But there still be the same setbacks on roadways and railways. That won't change. That won't be any allowance allowed there.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess my big thing, any other comments directly from the individual magistrate? Okay, so I guess I need to know, magistrate wise, are you all prepared to vote now on on this ordinance? And then if we want to make that amendment that they are saying, we can do that between now and the second reading. Or do you want to not vote this today?
I'm good for going ahead and voting.
Okay. Anybody? Yep.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we will do a roll call vote on the first reading of the ordinance 695 relating to solar energy systems.
Just take me back.
Derek, good to go?
No,
What'd you say? Sorry, Derek?
no,
Tim Durham,
Yes.
Tim Coomer,
Yes.
Marty Kinslow,
Yes.
Ronnie Simpson,
No.
Rod Gross,
Yes.
Jeff Watts,
no.
Okay, motion carries. Between now and the second reading, we will look to add an amendment and see if that passes before we do the second reading. So, all right, next up. Need to approve the agreement with American Towers LLC. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Simpson,
Second.
second by Gross. To explain this, Carlin has more information on this, but this has to do with go ahead.
It's the tower at Highway 63 that houses the sheriff department repeater. It houses the county fire department repeater, EMS repeater, and I think one of the bus garages. That contract is signed through the 911 center. However, historically, the fiscal court pays the bill and does the upkeep. So this is amending basically the names on the contract where the fiscal court is the name rather than the amount.
Any questions? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need for the county clerk 2020 fee additional excess fee report. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by Durham, second by, who was that? Pettigo?
Yes.
Second by Pettigo. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the contract for the sheriff's tax program with Guts. Need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Kinslow. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Need to approve the 2025 fee schedule for building, HVAC, and electrical inspections. I need a motion and a second before we can discuss.
Make a motion.
Motion by Kinslow,
Second.
second by Gross. Jim, you take the floor.
Basically what this is, prior to May 1st, the state was here one day a week. They had their appointed inspector who did HVAC inspections here once a week. Myself and Corey are both certified to do those inspections. So I just thought, why not? We're already there for electrical inspections. We're already there for framing inspections. It actually improves some of the building aspects because we know a little bit more now about the HVAC project that's going in a building that we're already looking at for electrical and building. So it really makes that a little smoother, because there's not a lot of talk between the state inspector and ourselves. So we can't know that we have a certain job coming in and look down the hall and say, hey, have you seen this about the HVAC? Does that work? Sometimes we're forced to catch up instead of know ahead of time. So it's really just good all the way around for people in the community. Our
Response time for
contractors,
contractors,
response
yes.
time. We're gonna be doing inspections.
Oh, it's nice, ain't it? Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
What I'd like to know is, are any of these fees, are they different than they've been in the past?
Right.
Are any of them updated?
Right.
What data is this based on?
Sure. So the fee schedule came from the state. It's what they were already charging, with one exception. For the residential, being that they were here one day a week, and we're gonna be doing it every day. We added $25 to residential inspections only. The commercial, all the other types of inspections remain the same, but we're doing it every day. So, right now, if they fail an inspection, it's a week. We might be able to slide by that afternoon again, or get it tomorrow, or pick it up whenever they're ready.
Yeah.
It's a really good thing. We don't have to hire anybody to do it. We're already certified to do it. Just one of those things that kind of makes our program a little bit better for inspections, contractors, homeowners, the whole nine.
Yeah, and I would like everybody to realize that that now that we have allowed your office to do this, it's making it more work for you, but it's better for the residents of the county because it's so much faster.
Oh, a lot faster. Yeah, a lot faster. Yeah, like I said, the one guy, he's here one day a week. He's got multiple counties. So, we're gonna be available, answer questions, do this. And like I said, we're there already. So why not?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, we have, just a reminder, this is a special call meeting today, so I'm not trying to be, hard to deal with people, but we have to, on a special call meeting, you have to stick to the agenda. That's okay. But, Closed session today will go deliberation on future sale of real property by a public agency where publicity would be likely to affect the value of a specific piece of property be acquired for public use or sold by a public agency. So I need a motion and a second to go into closed session.
Motion.
Okay, motion by Stetson,
Second.
second by Durham. Okay, gotcha. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we'll go into closed session. I need a motion. Motion by Gross,
Second.
second by Durham. All in favor, say aye. Any other? All opposed? Okay, the meeting's back into, we have no action that we're taking from the closed session. I know there were some questions about the auction that happened on Thursday for the health department building. We are not going to accept the offer at this point. We are pursuing other options with the property. So just, I know there's some questions about that. Okay, next up, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Motion by Box,
Second.
second by Gross. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion, meeting adjourned, sorry.